Hello guys, Robot1 here, and today I am going to be doing the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh! On my segment today. And today we're going to be talking about a lot of new cards that were released recently, that I thought would be really nice to talk about because, of course, we got new houkai cards here, which I am actually quite pleased about because they actually look really good and is starting to become a decent deck. I don't know any of these effects, but we'll find out what they are. We're also talking about the new Cosmo cards here, and the new Raid Raptor and the Houkai Fusion. So let's get onto this because I already know what the Cosmo effects are because I did post them on my Facebook page. If you guys are interested to see that, I will post a link in the description below for you to have a look up. Finally started actually doing things on there because I never actually used to do things on there, but yeah. And for you guys who do not know what the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, it's obviously a segment on my channel where I talk about cards, decks, or archetypes that I think will be good later on in the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, let's get on with this video. Okay, so the first card we're talking about is Cosmo Dark Planet. First of all, this artwork, it doesn't look like a planet. This thing is nothing like a planet. I don't know why they're calling it a planet. It looks more like a space station, if anything, like the Death Star was in Star Wars, obviously, but it doesn't have any resemblance to the Death Star in my opinion. So I don't really like its artwork, but yeah, let's get on to what it does. So it's a dark level 10 machine, 4000 attack, 4000 defense. So it's a 4K beat stick for the deck. Pretty broken. Its effect is, cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned from your hand by banishing Cosmo monsters from your hand whose total level equals 10 or more. And cannot be special summoned by other ways. Now, this is one of the reasons why I think this is a terrible card. You have to actually banish cards from your hand. I guess if you've got like a Dark Destroyer and a Straw Man in hand, why not? But any other time than that, it's a really not a good card to have in hand. Or if you've got another one of it in hand, because it does say you can just get rid of like this 10 equal numbers, so that's not bad, I guess. Its next effect is, cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. Okay, so it's basically got the effect of Forerunner and up. So we've got all this, and just making a 4K untalkable beat stick, when you limit Ignister, I might add, is actually really good for the deck, even though it's hard to summon, but it's still not the best card in my opinion. And its next effect is, during either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you can banish one Cosmo monster from your graveyard as cost, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So I guess that's a decent effect on the card, but right now we're not really seeing much spell cards played in the meta, because what they've done to Pendulums. So I wouldn't say this effect is the best card for it right now, but maybe if Pendulums can come back, like I actually proved in a previous video, coming third at a winner box with those hit Draco Pals. But yeah, altering my build as well, going to a regionals this weekend, so I've got to change my build up and make it better. Yeah, but I don't see this card actually being very relevant against any other deck than a Pendulum deck, or maybe in the mirror if you're trying to stop the Cosmo Town, or say E-Tele, or even against Monarchs with the Pantheism, but any other times I don't really see it being that useful. And the last effect on this card is, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish you can banish this card from your graveyard as cost, add one level 9 or lower Cosmo monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so it's basically got the Dark Eclipser effect there instead of a Dark Destroyer or Forerunner effect or any other lower ship. Where you can actually just add a card instead, which most of the Dark ships have, except for Dark Destroyer. Well, actually no, Dogfire doesn't have that effect, so I'll retract that statement. But I guess that makes it a little more balanced, but it's still not a really good card in that because of what it can do. So I really say it's not that great a card for the deck. It may be a one-off, maybe. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see how the meta develops first. But yeah, I don't really see this card being one of the best cards of all, so yeah. Let's move on to the next one, which is the next ship, Cosmo Walker. So basically the giant camel things from Star Wars. I forgot what they were. Walkers. Walkers? Were they walkers? Can't even remember. I gotta rewatch the Star Wars movies. But yeah, Cosmo Walker is a dark level 6 machine effect monster. 2400 attack and 1200 defense. Now, this is one of the better cards coming out, which I think will be used. Maybe one because of its effect. Now, its effect is, if a Cosmo card, / cards, you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can destroy another Cosmo card you control instead. So the reason I think that effect is good is obvious. You can just be like, oh, they Raigeki. I now use Walker's effect and destroy Cosmo Town instead, giving me a search to go with it. Which I find to be very, very good. So that's actually quite a good effect in my opinion, and I think this card will be used over Dogfighter maybe, if they actually don't, because I don't know, if Dogfighter makes Cosmo tokens, then I could see the Dogfighter still being used, and maybe some rank 6 players being put into the deck. So yeah, and its next effect of course is, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, so summon one level 5 or lower Cosmo monster from your deck. Obviously, because that's what this deck does. So that's Cosmo Walker. The next card is, obviously, the Darth Vader, which I actually really like. Still ain't got the Emperor, though. So, Cosmo Dark Lady is a dark level 5 psychic effect monster with 2200 attack and 1800 defense. Its effect is, during either player's turn, you can banish this card, special summon one level 6 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. Okay? So that's basically every other one but level 6 or higher. Its next effect is, you can only use, well, yeah, obviously you can only use this effect for Cosmo Dark Lady once per turn, like all the rest of them. And its next effect is, once per turn, once per turn during either player's turn, when another monster's effect is activated, you can pay 1000 life points to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. Now, that's going to probably make this card be used at least 3. I would probably, well, maybe not 3, but possibly 2. Max 3, because this card is actually one of the best cards in the deck, I would say, purely because, oh, your opponent's playing Cosmo. You summon this card. They essentially can't win, because Dark Lady is just going to negate their effects. So I would say this is one of the really best cards in the deck to use. And I can't wait to see how this card develops, because this card actually destroys every card in the game. Well, every monster card, obviously. Because when you think about it, Mermails, use effects... Wait, does it have to be on the field? No, it doesn't even have to be on the field. So when a Mermail effect, or say an infantry, or a... I can't really remember the rest of them. A Megalo, a Prince, all of those try to activate their effects. Dark Lady can just pay 1000 life points and negate any of them, which I find to be really good. Even against the Draco Power deck, which could still be surviving, like I have shown. You could even be like, oh, I can do this, so I'm going to be like, I summon Sorcerer, Cosmo Witch negates it. And the thing is, the effect's not even once per turn, which makes it really good. You can only use it 8 times, obviously, unless you've got a Forerunner. But it's still a really good effect, and I can actually see it being one of the best cards in the Cosmo from now on, just because of its effect. So yeah, that's Cosmo Dark Lady. Let's move on to the next one. Cosmo Fearful Lion. So essentially this is Chewbacca and the lion that needed courage from Wizard of Oz. And it is a light monster, finally. We've had all these dark monsters. Now we're going on to a light. It is a light, level 2, 1200 attack, 500 defense, psychic effect. Its effect is, during the player's turn, you can banish this card's summon one level 3 or higher Cosmo monster from your hand. You can only use this effect of Cosmo Fearful Lion once per turn, as all the other Cosmo monsters has, they can special summon levels higher than them. And now onto its actual effect. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points, then target 3 of your banished Cosmo monsters, return them to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. Now, this is more of a burn card, I would say. I would say this card would probably be used at 1, purely because it's not that great a card. It's a good card, I have to admit, but it's not the best card to use early game, and I could actually see it just being a one-off, so... It's okay, not the best. It's kind of like a cowboy in a sense. Now for the last Cosmo card we're going to be talking about, Morning. Morning? I think that's how you pronounce it. Not the morning as in hello sun. Morning as in feeling bad for someone's death. But yeah. And sorry if you hear cards in the background. I'm actually fiddling with them, trying to test for the regionals. So it's a continuous trap card with the effect of monsters destroyed by battle with Cosmo monsters you control are shuffled into the deck instead of being sent to the graveyard. Now that effect is broken beyond belief, and it's not. I don't even know what I'm saying. That effect is a very good effect purely because you can be like, oh, I attack your Burning Abyss. Oh, it's going to go to the... No, it's going to the deck now, and you're going to cry inside. So your opponent's essentially not being able to play because you activate this. And it's even good against Pendulum decks, because even though they don't go to the graveyard, essentially, the monster... I believe the ruling would be that they would still get sent back to the deck because they are still being destroyed. But I would actually have to get a proper ruling on that to be sure, but I'm sure that's how this works. So it's a really good effect there as well. So I'd have to say Morning is a very good card, and I can't wait to see how this card develops in the format. I'm pretty sure it will be used. So its next effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard this turn. The first time you would take battle damage from a battle involving a Cosmo monster you control, you gain that much life points instead. So essentially, your opponent attacks you, there's a Cosmo monster, you gain the life points you would have lost instead. Pretty good effect. Always good to have a trap card that gains you life. So yeah. Now let's go on to the next one, which are the houkais, which I've actually been really happy about because they've looked really good, and I can't wait to see what to do with them. So let's read what this card does. Okay, so Dark Houkai Deity Crimson Nova. Obviously it has a different name there. I'm actually reading the Death Pro name, not the card name. So its effect is, cannot be normal summoned / set. Must be special summoned from your hand by revealing 3 other Houkai monsters. Oh wait, I never even gave you its stats. It's a level 10, 3000 attack, 0 defense. My mistake, and it's a dark monster, obviously. So, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So, yeah, it can only be special summoned by revealing 3 Houkai monsters from your hand. So, easier to summon than a god card, obviously. Its next effect is, this card is unaffected by activated effects from other monsters whose original attack is 3000 or less. Is 3000. So, that's kind of like a Towers effect. How it can't be affected by monsters with a lower level. So, that's really good, I'd say. That's kind of it's got its own Towers effect. Its next effect is when this attacking card destroys a monster by battle after damage calculation, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack during the battle phase. Now that is a very good effect. That's a BLS effect, so a 3k BLS. That's a really good effect in my opinion. Not being able to be affected by other monsters, but also being able to just be like, oh, I can attack again. That's actually really good. And its last effect is, during your end phase, inflict 3000 points of damage to both players. You can only use this effect of Dark Houkai Deity Crimson Nova once per turn. Now that's a very good effect, because if your opponent is on free life, this is actually a drawer effect. So you can be like, oh, we're both under 3k, I'm gonna lose this, I can summon this, end my turn, and then just make the duel a draw. So that's a really good effect. I think this card will actually get a different effect in our format, because there's no way we can get that effect here. If we got that effect here, this deck would just be like, draws everywhere. So this card cannot be allowed to actually have that effect. I think it'll be changed to the Ring of Destruction effect, because there's no way we can allow that effect can stay in the TCG. But yeah, that's actually really good. I can't actually believe that exists. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Houkai Super Beast Buster Gandhail. Gandhail? I think that's how you pronounce that. It is a light, level 4, 0 attack, 0 defense. Its effect is, cannot be normal summoned, must be special summoned from your hand by sending 3 houkai monsters you control to the graveyard, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Okay. If summoned this way, this card gains 3,000 attack points. Okay, that's understandable. But I can see it getting breakthrough or fiendish if people start playing that. This card can make up 3 attacks during each battle phase. That's really good. The 9k to the face. But I guess sending 3 houkai monsters you control to the graveyard, so that's really good. Stopping that right there. But I guess it's worth the cost. If this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by your opponent's card effect, or card effect, you can target up to 3 houkai monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, then you can add 1 houkai monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so if your opponent kills this card, you can essentially special summon the 3 houkai monsters back, and then just add another houkai monster. That's really good in my opinion, so I have to give this one props. It's a level 4, which was kind of surprising to read its effect like that, but wow, that's actually a really good effect. A level 4 triple attacking monster with 3k. That's actually really good. Okay, so the next card is Houkai Emperor Vulcan Dragni. It's a fire level 3, 0 attack, 0 defense, with the effect that says, cannot be normal summoned / set, must be special summoned from your hand by sending 2 houkai monsters you control to the graveyard. If summoned this way, this card gains 1600 attack. If this card is special summoned from your hand, it inflicts 800 points of your damage to your opponent, so it's got a cowboy effect. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target up to 3 copies of Houkai Spawn Vijam in your graveyard, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do special summon those targets, then you can add 1 Houkai Super Emperor Idori Deathbolt from your deck to your hand. Okay, so that's got sort of a cowboy effect and special summon effect, which is good, and it's also got a search effect. It really does seem that they're trying to push this Houkai deck, because it looks really good to me. I might even play it. Okay, so this next one is Houkai Beast Blade Garudi. Fire level 3, 0 attack, 0 defense, just like the last one. But the effect is, can be normal summon / set, must be special summon from your hand by sending 2 houkai monsters from you control to the graveyard. If summoned this way, this card gains 2000 attack. This card can make a second attack during the battle phase. Okay, so a double attacker. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can target up to 3 houkai copies of Houkai Spawn in your graveyard, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do special summon those targets, then you can add 1 Houkai Supreme Beastbuster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so basically it searches itself, I think? No, it doesn't. It searches this one? Yeah, so I think these 3 search each other. Let's see, Deathbolt. No, it doesn't search that one. So it must search one of the next 2. But yeah, so this one searches this one. This one searches any, so that one's the good one. But yeah, so far so good from the looks of it. The next one is Houkai Emperor Gary Gale. Wind level 2, 0 attack, 0 defense. Cannot be normal summoned, must be first special summoned from your hand by sending 1 Houkai monster you control to the graveyard. If this card is summoned this way, this card gains 800 attack. If this card is special summoned from your hand, inflict 800 points of damage to your opponent. Okay, so we got another cowboy effect. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target up to 2 copies of Houkai Spawn Vijam in your graveyard, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do special summon this card, special summon those targets, you can add 1 Houkai Emperor Vulcan Dragnir from your deck. Okay, so this will search this then. Okay, So that's it's okay, I guess. The only problem I would have with it is that it has too little attack to actually be able to do much. So it won't really be doing much unless you attack a defense position monster. But I guess that's pretty good. And the last houkai monster we're going to be talking about is Dark Houkai Beast Dark Genex. Oh, more Genex support? Okay. So this is a Houkai and a Genex monster. Cool, cool. Its effect is, cannot be normal summoned, must be summoned from your hand by sending one Houkai monster from you control to the graveyard. If summoned this way, this card gains 1000 attack. When this card is destroys a monster by battle, you can target up to 2 Houkai spawn V-Jams in the graveyard. Send this card to the graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, you can add 1 Houkai Beast Blade Garija. This to your hand. I don't think that's actually really good. Because it's a level 2 Earth and 0 attack, 0 defense, obviously, but because it only gains 1000 attack, I don't think it's actually going to be destroying any monsters by battle. So I wouldn't think this card to be that great a card. So I don't really like this card for what it is. So yeah, I don't really see this Houkai being that great. So now that we're done with the monsters, let's start with the spells. Houkai Aura is the first spell card. It's a normal spell card, but the effect is target 1 Houkai monster you control, and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. The first target's attack becomes double its current attack, and if it does, the second target's attack becomes half its current attack. Now that is really good, because you can be like, activate, target my Houkai monster, doubles. So you could use this with essentially this, or this, maybe most like this, so you can double this to 2k and then half any other attack point monster your opponent controls. So you're just able to be over them. That's actually really good, just making this into this. And you could even use this on this, making this a 6k monster, which is really good. Okay. And its next effect is you can banish this card and any number of Houkai monsters from your graveyard, then target face-up monsters your opponent controls equal to the number of Houkai monsters banished to activate this effect. Place 1 Houkai counter on each of those monsters with Houkai counters cannot attack as their effects are negated. Also, their effects are negated. Okay, that's really good because you could be like, if you have like just dead ones in grave, you could be like banish 5, target all their monsters. All their monsters now can't attack and also don't have effects, which is really good. So I like that effect. I like this card a lot in the Houkai deck. I'll probably build something with this and see what I can do. Because I'm kind of considering building it now with just what it is. So, yeah. So the next one is Houkai Karma. Houkai Karma's effect is, when this card is activated, you can target 1 Houkai monster you control, except Houkai Spawn the Jam. Spawn the Jam. Send any number of Houkai Spawn... Wait, what? Spawn the Jam from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then target monsters... Wait, what? Okay, when this card is activated, you can target Houkai monsters you control, except Houkai Spawn Vijam. Send any number of Houkai Spawn Vijams from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then the targeted monsters gain 800 attack for each monster sent to the graveyard by this effect, even if this card leaves the field. Oh, okay. So essentially, you send 3 Spawn Vijam to the graveyard, and your monster gains 2400 attack, essentially. And it's a permanent boost as well, so that's really good. So its next effect is... Oh, and this is a continuous spell, by the way. During your opponent's turn, if Houkai Spawn Vijam is special summoned by a Houkai monster's effect, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, halve your opponent's life points. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Houkai monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so this has a search ability, obviously, but half your opponent's life points? No, that's stupid. All your monsters special summon Vijam from the graveyard. And when this is activated, you send all... That's stupid. You can literally half your... That's 4k gone just because this card... Oh my god. That's actually amazing. The Houkais look amazing. Oh my god. I can't wait. I'm gonna start testing these. Honestly, that's actually stupid. So that's a really great card. It's got searchability. It's got an attack increase. Plus, it's got it can halve your opponent's life points. Not many spell cards can do that. I don't think any can actually. So that's actually really stupid. Okay. So the next card we're going to be talking about is a trap called Cubic Unification. So it looks like it's a fusion trap card. It's a normal trap. Fusion summon one houkai fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. If a face-up houkai monster is destroyed by battle or leaves the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon one level 4 or lower houkai monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its summon conditions, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle card effects. So essentially, this card is a fusion spell card, a fusion trap card, and you can banish it from the graveyard to essentially do an E-telly for every houkai monster in the deck. So I'm probably guessing this card won't really be used much for fusion summoning. You'll probably want to just somehow get in the graveyard, possibly Twin Twister or something like that. And then just be able to go all ham because of that. So I can see this card being a pretty good card because of that. Okay. Oh my god, I'm still not getting over how broken this card is. I don't think any other card's going to actually compare to it. So, yeah. This is Cubic. Wait, no, sorry, not Cubic. They're Houkais. I'm reading their stupid OCG names again. Houkai Reincarnation. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, target the attacking monster. Your opponent special summons as many monsters as possible with the same name as that monster from their hand, deck, and graveyard in attack position. Wait. So they get to special summon 2 more monsters. Okay. Change the attacking okay, so and if they do, change the attack of that target and the monster special summoned by this effect also to 0. Also place 1 houkai counter on each of those monsters. If houkai counters cannot attack, also their effects are negated. This then special summon 1 level 4 houkai. Now, I don't like this card. This is actually a houkai monster card, a houkai card I don't like. Now, this card is not good in my opinion. It's not good because your opponent can just special summon 3 monsters and overlay with them. So your opponent attacks. If it's not an Xyz monster or any sort of extra monster, there's going to be special summoning 3 monsters from their deck. So I can't actually say I like this card. So I have to actually say this is a bad card. I don't really have anything good to say about it, but except for maybe the special summoning thing, but it's not good at all in my condition. I don't like this card at all. So the last main deck card we're going to be talking about is Houkai Mandela. Mandela? Okay. If you control a Houkai monster, activate this card. Oh, it's a continuous trap card as well. So if you flipping out, I'm still speechless for this card, guys. Like, what the hell? For half your life. But I gotta carry on with this video. Okay, if you control a Houkai monster, activate this card by targeting any number of monsters in your opponent's graveyard that were destroyed and sent there this turn. Special summon them to your opponent's field, but their attack becomes 0. Also place 1 Houkai counter on each of those monsters. Monsters with Houkai counters cannot attack. Also, their effects are negated. While your opponent... well, that effect, I'd have to say, is... okay. But it's the same thing with the last one. You're giving your opponent free advantage for nothing. So I can't actually say this is a good card. So I'm giving this a thumbs down right away. But let's see what its next effect is. While your opponent controls those monsters, negate any effects activated by a monster in your opponent's possession. When all of those monsters leave the field, destroy this card. I really don't like this card because these two cards are basically like I give you free advantage for nothing. So I have to say these cards are just complete garbage in my opinion. So these two cards are like thumbs down guaranteed. I will not play these in the houkai deck at all because I just can't see these cards being used to be good. Like this trap is actually really good because it's got an E-Tail effect, but these two, I could maybe play this, but not these two. These two are just, this one's just complete garbage, while this one is, not great. But yeah, that's all the main deck cards, guys. Let's move on to the extra deck cards now. So this is, I actually have to get in close to the name. Crimson Nova Trinity, the Dark Side Houkai Deity. So I'm guessing Houkai Wicked Deity, Crimson Nova Trinity. TCG name, I can't see all of it. Okay, its effect is, well, it's a dark level 10, 4,500 attack, 3,000 defense monster. It takes one Houkai Deity, Crimson Nova, Dark Houkai Deity, Crimson Nova, Dark Houkai Deity. So 3 Dark Houkai. So I'm guessing, yeah, 3 of this guy. So it takes 3 of this guy to make. With the effect is, must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Okay, so the only way to get over this is essentially with a Cosmojo or an Ignista. If there's a card that declares an attack, your opponent's life points is half your opponent's life points. What's it? You've got this that halves your opponent's life points, and you've got this that halves your opponent's life points. Your opponent's on 2k now. What are you doing? Konami is making this movie deck too broken. I don't even know if he's going to be able to use all these cards in the freaking movie. No spoilers, by the way. Don't you dare spoil it in the comments. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack during the battle phase. If you take effect damage, you can inflict the same amount of damage to your opponent. Guys, what the fuck? Like, this card, it's worse than Towers. This card is like, okay, I half your opponent's life points once. I half your opponent's life points again. And then I'm still attacking you with big damage. This card is stupid. Well, I guess you do have to use 3 of this to make it, but still. Oh my god. If you could pull this off, you win the duel. There's no way you're losing that game. Like, oh lord. Just stupidly broken there. Well, that's all the houkai cards we're talking about, guys. Let's move on to the last card before I literally drop from this brokenness. Broken. Just the whole deck. It's stupid. But yeah, let's talk about the last card we're going to be talking about, which is Raid Raptor Blade Burner Falcon. It's a new rank 4, which actually makes me really happy because I like the Raid Raptor deck. It takes 2 level 4 winged beast monsters to make. So same as Force Trick, so we finally can make winged beast monsters in this deck easier. Its effect is, if this card is XC summoned while your life points is at least 3,000 higher than your opponent's. Wait. While your opponent's life points is at least 3,000 higher than yours. Okay. You can make this card gain 3,000 attack. So that's really good because a 4k rank 4 beat stick if your life points are less than 3k. Which is really good because if you're dueling something like Cosmo, they can't get over something like this. Well, without summoning Dark Destroyer, obviously. Next effect is, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can detach any number of Xyz materials from this card. Destroy monsters your opponent control equal to the number of Xyz materials you detached. So basically, it's a non-targeting destruction effect, which is really good for the deck, I have to say. It can become a 3k beat stick, which I really like, and I'd say this card's going to be a really good card for the Raid Raptor deck. So I cannot wait to see what this card does. And yeah. So guys, tell me what you think of the new Cosmo support. Tell me what you think of this houkai deck, because we've been talking about this in quite a few videos, and it's completely stupid now. And tell me what you think of the new Raid Raptor Rank 4. Guys, I'm going to end the video here because stupid cards, speechless, and oh lord. So yeah, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Tell me if you liked this video. Tell me if you want to see more of these, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Just so broken cards.